Good day. My name is Imolore Santa, and I'm so excited to be with you here today in this webinar. Thank you so much for signing up. This webinar started as an idea in my mind. Before now, we've organized webinars to teach scholarship undergraduate students how they can secure undergraduate scholarships here in Nigeria, from MTN to SNEPCo to SPDC. And I'm proud to announce that we have a lot of students that secured their scholarships after they attended our webinar. So I was really thinking that what can we do different this time, and how can we really help the students. And I got to find out that the top three areas of concern that students have is how they can manage their business, alongside with their studies and still earn very good grades, and how they can recover from a low CGPA, and also what to expect after school. I was actually inspired, by final year students in that area. Like when I was in my final year, I didn't know anything about LinkedIn optimization, and so many students are really wondering what they can do differently. There's so many graduates every year actually, and from all the amazing universities we have here in Nigeria. So what can you do to really stand out of the crowd? So that's why we're organizing this webinar today. So I'm so excited. Like I said, my name is Imolore Santa. I studied computer engineering in the University of Benin, and I graduated as a first-class student and as the best graduating student in my department for the 2019 set. So once again, welcome. We have so many amazing speakers, and I'm so excited that they actually agreed to feature in this webinar. Santa, we call him Oga Santa. He's the CEO of Santa's Delivery, Imolore Frank, and he's here to really guide students on how they can run their campus business, not just campus business, but business in general. Permit me to say that Santa Delivery was actually nominated this year as one of the best logistics company in Edo State. So that's the kind of person you're speaking with today, Imolore Frank, and is going to really provide you a lot of value. Also, we have Joseph, and Joseph is really an amazing person. Joseph Jaiyeola is even a mentor to many concerning CV and LinkedIn optimization, and he has secured really amazing offers, and gigs from LinkedIn. So he's here today to share that story with you, and I'm so excited that he's actually here because Joseph is one person that is really amazing. He goes out of his way to help others, and he had to even agree to speak in this webinar despite his very busy schedule. And finally, the last speaker, Jimmie is somebody. Jimmie, oh god, I respect Jimmie a whole lot, because Jimmie was actually one of my classmates in university, and he bounced back. He was in a very low 2-1 in 100 and 200, but he bounced back and obtained a first class, graduated with me, alongside me, like with a first class computer engineering. And that was just crazy because I didn't even understand how the switch, where the drive came from and everything, and that's really amazing. So I would like him to also share his story with you so that you can be aware of how he did that, because I've seen a lot of students complain that I really want to learn, I really want to improve my CGPA, but my CGPA is really low. I don't think I can still finish with the first class, or my CGPA is just too low. I don't think I can still come out with a 2-1. So Jimmie is going to show you the tricks that he actually used to attain that feat. Yeah, so we would like all our participants to really be actively involved, and we would love you to follow the page, subscribe to this channel, you know, like the video and share with your friends. Actually, we have a very nice gift for you if you do that. So if you do that, we'll be providing you with you know, some real nice resource that will guide you to write a perfect CV and to get your LinkedIn optimized, and also how to choose the right career path. That's really important, and some other things that we'll not be able to mention right now. So that's more like a special resource, for LinkedIn and CV optimization. So once you're able to do that, you can either send me a message on 081 telling me that you've done all this and you would like to get the resource, and you also have to provide a screenshot, yeah, so we can verify that. And apart from that, if you invited 5 people to this webinar, you actually are eligible um, for a free CV and LinkedIn review. So you just choose one. If you want your CV to be reviewed, great. But thing about CV is that once you have a very good CV, then your LinkedIn profile is like 60% complete. So guys, please take advantage of that. Like I said, if you've done what I asked, you've shared, you've liked and subscribe to the channel, just contact me at 08186281254, or you can send me an email at promisevekpo@gmail.com. promisevekpo @gmail.com. Yeah, thanks so much. So just stay tuned, and the next voice you will hear is that of Joseph. So Joseph will be providing you with guidance on how you can optimize your CV and LinkedIn. Enjoy. Joseph, you have the floor.
Good everyone, it's nice to be here on this platform. I count it a rare privilege to be called by Promise. I do not take it for granted, and to share platform with the host of Peter and other guests. So, without further ado, I'll just be talking about positioning yourself for the market, CV and LinkedIn optimization. Probably this first time we're hearing about LinkedIn. So we're like, what's LinkedIn? So in this video, I'm going to be talking especially what LinkedIn is all about and the benefit of being on LinkedIn. So let's just use this layman language. Positioning yourself for the market is basically life after school. A lot of us have had different minds and different perspective when it comes to life after school, which has really made us change our actions or make you feel like school is calm and you just have negligence towards your academics. I will tell you that that is not true. Give your best to your academics. I mean, so much zeal you can add towards your academics. You should put it right now because really grade count. And one of the advantage of grade is that it gives you a perspective. So people see that you graduated with a 2 and they feel like you are diligent. People see a first class graduate, they feel he is more diligent. So, but it stops there. Then it moves on to what you now know or what you can do. So, because the world of work right now is about what can you do, it's not so much about what you know as it were, and it's about what can you do. Like I mean, the skills, what change can you bring to organization? Because no organization is going to be paying you for not doing anything or for you not knowing anything. That is the reason why you're actually in this webinar, for you to know what you need to do and how to position yourself rightly. And because people feel like school is scam, people have resorted into doing other things as a replacement for the academics. Some of them is like doing some minor business, or some of them is probably learning some trade or learning some handwork, which is not a bad idea. But the motive for doing that is very key. What me I have issues with is doing all of those things at the expense of like your certificate and going to 4 5 years in school without making use of it. So that might not be very good. But if you have the right information, the energy, the time you pour into doing all of those things, you would pour it into knowing the right thing you're supposed to do. As an undergraduate, I also did some businesses and all, but I didn't allow it to be at the expense of my academics. So, and like I said, so grade just gives you a perception, so it gives you a softer landing if you have a very good grade. And people say really, I don't want to work for anybody, so why do I need to have a CV or LinkedIn? But I think it's actually more than that. I mean, if you have a business of your own and you need real clients, I mean, you need people who would pay well for you. LinkedIn is a very good place to get people that would pay or buy what you sell or buy your service. So because LinkedIn is not just about a job, and so right now, so the thing is that what are the things I'm supposed to do so I'm to position myself rightly before I graduate, or if you're a fresh graduate, what are the things you're supposed to be doing? So I would say that first thing that helped me is ask a lot of questions from people. If you see somebody who's doing great, even though it's your colleague, your junior colleague, or anybody, just ask questions. How did you do it? Like be careful about this you're asking question of. Especially there should be people you feel like you want to model yourself after. So don't feel like this person is older than I am, this person is younger than I am. Ask questions. So have that habit of always asking questions, be inquisitive. And I also try to tell you to improve your writing skills, because really the way it is right now is that most of the things you want to apply for, you have to write something, you have to probably pen down or so. And one of the ways you can improve your writing skills is to go watch YouTube videos, um Google or anything, and just check how to improve my writing skills. And you can also practice writing. So there's nothing like I'm not a writer. Everybody should probably know how to write. I mean, should be able to express what they can do, because really, no matter what you know or what you can do, your ability to express yourself in words and writing is key. Because a lot of people right now, they actually know a lot of things, but their major challenge is because they cannot express themselves. Because when they most people don't see you, like when they want to give you opportunity, what they see is your CV that you wrote down. So or when you are doing an interview, where they have a conversation where they have with you maybe 5 to 10 minutes, they just use that as a judgment. So you just imagine I know all of these things and I can't say it. So it's tantamount to saying I don't know it. So, and if you're an undergraduate, I would just basically advise you to volunteer into religious department, politics. These things will help you to build your intrinsic value, because these are really the things that you will need when you would graduate. It's not so much about, even though you know how to do all the hard skills, I mean coding, you know how to do anything that your undergraduate course will empower you with or that you will learn, you need to be able to relate to people. So all the leadership skills, those are the things you need in life in that sense. So just when people say school is scam, is because all they just did in school was just class, um, tutorial, a library and all. So you should not be that kind of student. You should be that kind of student who is all rounded, who in that sense volunteer. So that is when you will learn. You might feel like nobody's paying you. The fact that they're not paying you should not mean that you should not do those things, because those are things that really help you. And I also advise you to improve your social and emotional intelligence. You can do that by reading books. So how to improve your social intelligence, you can just check up what social intelligence, emotional intelligence. So because it helps you in relating with people better. In the world of work, you relate to people, you can't work alone. So, and I also advise you to improve your hard and soft skills. Your hard skills are your technical skills. Technical skills, I mean, let's say you know how to use Microsoft Word, that is hard skills. Let's say you know how to do programming language, you know how to do some software, that is your hard skills. While your soft skills are how you communicate your hard skills. Soft skills are leadership, your relational skills, and the way. So you need to focus on building your soft and your hard skills. And there's really nothing wrong in understanding what your career path is. Also, so the question is that, so what's career path? Career path is basically what you want to do. I mean, it might be in line with your course of study, it might not be in line with your course of study. For example, you study statistics and you feel like what you like is writing. So if you discover that as a pattern part, so there's really nothing wrong in starting to develop skills that align with that career. So that is very important that you understand what your career path is. And so let me just really go into, so why should I even write a CV? That is what it is. So the CV that you are writing in, or that they taught you in primary school, secondary school, is not the CV that the world of work requires right now. There's a way to write a CV. Also, I made another video on how to navigate your career path, how to write a CV and to prepare for interview. So for you to get that video, just follow and like this page. The link to the video will be sent to you for you to download, so you can understand better how to write your CV. So I'll just say that you one of the best ways to understand your career path, or one of the best way to learn anything, is go to YouTube, go to LinkedIn, go to Google. Those things are your friend. You probably might not have to waste a fortune. Just go to Google how to do this. Be have the habit of checking online for informations. And then I would at this point say that your CV should not be more than a page if you're a fresh graduate or you're an undergraduate. There's really nothing wrong in having a CV as an undergraduate. So you don't need to graduate before you start to learn how to craft a CV for yourself. And I would encourage you that you do it yourself. And then you should allow all of those things evolve. It's not overnight that you just become boom. So you learn, you create your first draft, so and you start to know, okay, these are things I'm not supposed to add, these are things I'm supposed to remove. Then what is LinkedIn? So let me just go about LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a social media. Yes, it's a social media. So what is that? Why is the hype all about? So it's a social media for professionals. So just like Facebook, Instagram, so they are all social medias, and every social media has the language. So the language of Facebook is different from the language of or Twitter. What I mean language, you understand what I mean? Like the way people communicate on LinkedIn is different from the way people communicate on Facebook. There are a little bit of similarities. The closest you can put side by side to LinkedIn is probably Facebook. So it has most of the features, but it's more professional. So the LinkedIn it just gives you an opportunity to connect with a lot of people without having that right and that sense to know them, to connect with chairman, CEOs. Even as an undergraduate, you can have a conversation with the CEO of any company, in quote, like you can have CEO of any company if you position yourself rightly on LinkedIn. So I would just basically advise you, if you don't know what LinkedIn is, go to Google Play Store and download LinkedIn, open a LinkedIn account. So, and if you don't know how to what's up with LinkedIn is, just check LinkedIn, look at how people are doing, look at what people are posting. That's the fastest way to learn what LinkedIn is all about. Just check out how people's profile are, how they did their profile, and then you use that as a guide to do your own profile. And some of the mighty people have about LinkedIn is that it's just for job seekers. I don't need a job, so there's no point in being on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not just for job seekers, and people think that LinkedIn is time demanding. And for me, this is one of the mites I had as an undergraduate. I was not active on LinkedIn not until I graduated, because I felt like it needed all the time in the world and I didn't have that luxury of time. So the way you can be flexible with coming up on WhatsApp, the way you can be flexible with checking off Facebook, that's the same way LinkedIn is. LinkedIn is it's a social media, just have that mindset, but it's a professional social media. So there are some do's and don'ts of LinkedIn. So by watching the video I talked about, it will tell you some of the things you are not supposed to do on LinkedIn and how to maximize of LinkedIn. So let me just say some of the advantage of LinkedIn. So it's a very good network, a very good social media to network. I mean, when it comes to networking, LinkedIn is one of the best way to network, to leverage on relationship, because um the world of work right now is the easiest way to get a job is by referral. And if your dad does not work in NNPC or Shell, so LinkedIn is the best place to network or to connect with somebody who works in NNPC or Shell. So if you have a very good profile and a very good CV, they would hear you out. And so let me just drop this in. Right now, most of the HR people who are recruiting for organizations, most of the HR right now, they have moved away from the traditional way of you sending your CV to head hunting. So most time what people do is they have to apply for a job. A lot of people send CVs, tons of thousands. Maybe it's just two positions that they have in that particular organization. So it's always difficult for the HR manager or the recruiter to pick out the best person. So what they do is they just go to LinkedIn and search for people whose profile fits in that job. So that's called head hunting. So by head hunting, they just message this person and ask if they are open for work, and voila, those people got the job. So you see people who have good LinkedIn profile and who have good CV, people will keep reaching out to them on LinkedIn. I mean, that means you are not the one applying. People are the HR managers or the recruiters are the one reaching out to them to offer them job. So if there's a platform like that that offers people job without them applying, I think it's high time you joined that platform. So you don't need to feel like I don't want to be on LinkedIn and all. And because people feel LinkedIn, I'm not sure I have all the hype. So LinkedIn can be like the Twitter of or the Instagram of people show off. So I would just say that first of all, you should just be your own personal hype man. If you cannot hype yourself, you will probably be uncomfortable on LinkedIn. And it's good to be uncomfortable. First of all, when I joined LinkedIn, I was uncomfortable, and later on, I just understood that really you need to blow your trumpet yourself. If you are selling a business or you are selling anything, people need to know what you are doing. And other advantages of LinkedIn is that it's like a faster way to get a job, like I said, and it gives you global perspective. One of the advantages of being on LinkedIn is that it makes you understand what's going around in the world, the way you think. It allows you to have a career mentor, a career coach. I've been able to connect a lot of persons who have been of immeasurable benefit to my life, my career, and a lot of things that it was just via LinkedIn, and I've probably never met them, and probably I will not meet them this year or so. It's just a very good place to be. If you don't know what is it, so go download LinkedIn and maximize the social media. So there are a lot of opportunities for you to meet a mentor, a lot of opportunities for you to get people to learn and unlearn. So it's not fear that would be the be the solution. So what you need to do for you to position yourself rightly, basically summary, is to be well informed by asking questions, by knowing how to craft your CV. So things that should be on your CV should be the things that will in line with what you want to do. So you can't tell me right now that you want to be a business analyst, and on your CV you probably have you in your CV you said you taught in secondary school, you said you taught in this and this, and people's challenge is that most of the work right now they are looking for experience, 2 3 years experience for entry level roles, and you don't have that experience. So if you're an undergraduate right now, you can begin to seek out to look for internships, and LinkedIn is also a very good place for you to seek out to look for internship. So I hope that this video is a value for time. I hope that you're able to learn one or two things, and watching the explicit video that talks about CV optimization would help you understand better. Thank you for your time.
Wow, Joseph, that was amazing. I learned a whole lot. So I'm really happy that Joseph has spoken to us, about CV and LinkedIn optimization. I'm very sure you learned a lot of things from his webinar, So, like I said, just be actively involved, and we'll provide you with our free resource, that you can use to that effect. So I've learned a lot from Joseph's presentation. He has talked about choosing a career path. He talked about your CV, your LinkedIn. So that's just use the advice. So the next voice you hear right now is the voice of Frank. He is the CEO of Santa Delivery, as I mentioned earlier, and he'll be putting you through how to manage a business as an undergraduate. So stay tuned. Enjoy. Wow, Santa, that's a whole lot. Really loved your story, and we've learned a lot. Um, yeah, without wasting much time, we'll like.
Imolore Santa Frank, and I run Santa's delivery courier service. So Santa's delivery started about 4 years ago. We started it while on campus, and the journey so far has been uh, rough, but along the line we've gotten to know that you can only get better when you start. So first of all, I would love to thank Promise for bringing me on this platform to talk to everyone about how to run a business and still maintain good grades as a student. So the first thing I have to tell you is the fact that you can never do anything meaningful without you trying it first. You won't being able to do anything at all. It all depends on you starting something. You have to go out of your way to ensure that you gain experience and then start it. So, for example, about 4 years ago when we started the business, a lot of people said that why are you making deliveries for people? Are you an errand boy? Why are you running around for people? The vision is never clear as the starting point. The vision is never clear at the starting point to a whole lot of people. So they said, you'll be an errand boy, you're running around for people, you're doing this and you're doing that. But at the end of the day, I knew what I wanted to do in my heart, and I knew that over time we'll fine tune it, and then we'll get our core values in the company itself. So what I'm trying to say is that irrespective of the idea you have right now, don't listen to people. Don't listen to people. Don't listen to people. Try and ask your innate self, is this what I really want to do? Because I always tell people that I move around you that experience boosts confidence. Experience boosts confidence. You have to start. You just have to start. You have to push yourself to ensure you start and then fine tune it along the way. When I started, I definitely did not know anything about the logistic business. I started and I did not know, but I just had to fine tune it, and then I had to learn along the line. In life, you get to learn along the line in every single thing you do. You get to learn along the line. I got to learn along the line. I was ready to accept mistakes. I was ready to accept my own faults and then fine tune it to get the perfect connection between myself and customers and people in total. So about that, at first, the thing I would want to start with is that wherever you have in your heart, my brother or my sister, just start. Start, and along the line, bringing strategy to accompany it, bringing strategy to assist. I always tell people that I move around you that experience boosts confidence. Experience boosts confidence. You have to start. You just have to start. You have to push yourself to ensure you start and then fine tune it along the way. When I started, I definitely did not know anything about the logistic business. I started and I did not know, but I just had to fine tune it, and then I had to learn along the line. In life, you get to learn along the line in every single thing you do. You get to learn along the line. I got to learn along the line. I was ready to accept mistakes. I was ready to accept my own faults and then fine tune it to get the perfect connection between myself and customers and people in total. So about that, at first, the thing I would want to start with is that wherever you have in your heart, my brother or my sister, just start. Start, and along the line, bringing strategy to accompany it. My possibility is more like the best publicity you can ever get because it's directly from the source, It's directly from the source, and they get to believe their friends, and they get to believe who told them about it. So that's basically it. So as a student, you need to first of all start. At the end of the day, it all depends on you and what you want to do. It all depends on you. Do you have a heart for what you want to do? And also, you also need to know that irrespective of the things you are doing, you need to have a time frame. What's your scale of preference? What's your scale of preference? Some people say I cannot manage a business as a student and trying to keep up my grades, going to class. At the end of the day, it all depends on your heart. What do you actually want to do? What can you do to fine tune it to ensure that you get a perfect bearing? And also, another major thing I also want to talk about is your connection to people. You need to be able to relate to people. You need to be able to connect with them on a whole different level to know how to speak to them and know how to get a relationship with them. Because most of the people that patronize my business today, they are not like start now and fine tune it along the line. Start now and fine tune it along the line. Experience will boost your confidence. So you can keep up your grades by knowing how to fix up your scale of preference and know exactly what you want out of life. So I guess that's that for me. So thank you very much, Promise, for bringing me on this platform. I'll definitely be on the comment section replying messages. So if you have any question on how to manage a business, run a business, or any other thing you think I have not touched, please you can put it on the comment section. So thank you very much for your time. Bye. So you can check me out on my social media handle at Santa Frank at Twitter and Santa Delivery at Instagram.
Wow, Santa, that's a whole lot. We've learned a whole lot from a CEO. I'm sure the viewers are really happy with what they've heard about starting a business and managing it as a student. And I'm really excited that I actually listened to that piece, because I myself I learned a lot from your session. So thanks again so much, Sir Santa, as I call you. Yeah. So I'm about going to welcome Jimmy. Jimmy is someone that is really straight to the point, and I like the way he actually share his ideas. So this is really important for you if you're a student and you're looking for how to recover your CGPA, because Jimmy is going to share with you some amazing tricks. I'm sure he is really ready. So Jimmy, you have the floor.
I know what must be going through your mind. I've had a low GP in 100 level, I've had a low GP in 200 level. Whoa, there's no hope again. Let me just graduate with whatever they give to me. I'm here to tell you that you are wrong. You can graduate with whatever you set your mind to. All you have to do is believe in yourself. My name is Oki-peter, and I'm going to be taking you through the steps of increasing your GP. So no matter how low your GP is, be rest assured that you can graduate with the best possible GP, CGPA rather. We know the meaning, the difference between GP and CGPA. CGPA means cumulative grade point average. So it's basically the cumulative of all the GPAs you have in your years of study. Now, as freshers, I was once a fresher, so I understand that we tend to while away time, to waste away time. Allow me to use that word waste. Because when we are injured level, we want to have fun, we want to catch cruise, we want to do men, so we don't pay attention to our studies, and before we know, 100 level is gone, 20 level is gone, and if you are doing a 4-year course, you have just 2 years to make up for your previous mistakes. However you look at it, you can still get a very very good GP. Now there are different reasons why you have low GP. Sometimes maybe you don't read, you don't pay attention in class, you go to class late, you don't take attendance, you don't do assignments and all little things. That's the reason why you might have a low GP. Now for some of us, we read a lot. It's not like we don't read, we read a lot, but when it comes to the exam, we tend to not give the lecturer what he wants. So it seems like our reading, it's in vain. So we don't have, we don't see the fruits of the labours of our reading. Now basically the key to graduating with a very good GP is you understanding your lecturers. For instance, there are some lecturers, I had a lecturer once, the way he sets questions in a funny way. He might teach you, for instance, I studied computer engineering, so there's something we call logic gates, the AND gates, the OR gate, the NOR gate and all that, but I will not take you through the nitty-gritty of those logic cells now. That particular lecturer, the way he sets his question, he uses his students to set the question. Imagine if he wants to decide that, okay, if he teaches you that, for instance, maybe 1 plus 1 is equals to 2. If he wants to set his exam question, the way he sets the exam question, he might say Peter plus Paul is equals to what? Where Peter is equals to 1 and Paul is equals to 2. Now basically what he's saying there is 1 plus 2 is equals to what? But if you don't pay attention, you'll be like, Omo, what is this man setting? What did he teach this? He did not teach Peter plus Paul. What he thought was 1 plus 2. You understand? So you have to understand your lecturers. Once you understand your lecturers, trust me, you will not need much effort to even have good grades. You will not, you will just be catching cruise and be getting the A. It's something that I've done. It's not like I'm lying to you. It's what I did. It's what I did. So when you understand lecturer, now there are some lecturers, they will tell you, give me what I give to you. Now I understand that some of us will say, how will lecturer say I should give him what I give to you? But trust me, you cannot argue with the lecturer. As far as that course is concerned, he is king. If he tells you, give me what I give to you, my dear brother and my dear sister, give him what he gives to you. If you just do it, because at the end of the day, what you need is the A. You need the A from the course. If you don't need the A from the course, if you don't want to go to school, you can at once say, I don't want to go to school again. But you need the A. So arguing with your lecturers, when you know the type of person your lecturer is the type that says he wants what he gives to you in class, and you are trying to go overboard, you are killing yourself. Now there are some lecturers, they like short and succinct answers to questions. If they ask you what is a boy, just tell him a boy is the male type of human, and he's okay with it. It's okay, he gives you your full mark. If it is 5 marks, he allocates the 5 marks to you. Other lecturers, they will tell you what is a boy. They want you to write at least maybe a paragraph, 2 paragraphs. So you have to understand your lecturers. And now I know your next question would be, how do I understand my lecturer? The answer to that is very simple. Go to his class, listen to the way he teaches. From the way a lecturer teaches, you already know how he wants to answer his question. If a lecturer is the type of lecturer that comes and he gives you short, a boy is this and this, a this is this and that, he doesn't really go into details. You can be at least about 50% sure that okay, this type of lecturer, what he wants in his in the exam is that we give him short answers to questions. Now when I say short, I don't mean you should maybe they ask you what is I will be coming from the computer engineering part of studies, because that's what I studied. I'm not saying that if they ask you what is for instance now, what is a logic gate, you should say a logic gate is made of transistors. You just stop there. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you should at least give him a short and detailed answers. Now I know it might sound like what I'm saying is might sound vague, like how can something be short and detailed? It can be short and detailed because you can pay attention to the key points. Pay attention to the key points and drop the key points. Now other type of lecturers, if they ask you a question, they want you to go overboard. They want you to explain. Now while that is also okay, you should also be careful, because there are some times that you will be explaining and you've gone off key. Now you know it's easier for a lecturer to mark than it's easier for a student to answer questions, because when a student is answering a question, is on the what's the word now, there are many factors involved. Is watching time. I have 3 hours to answer this exam. I cannot spend much time on this, and that might make you to forget some details. But as a lecturer, you don't have 3 hours to mark a student script. You can decide that you want to mark one script in one day. You pay attention to it and you mark it. Is at your own convenience. But as a student, you don't have that luxury in the exam. It's not at your convenience. You have to answer questions within the specified time. So you have to also be careful, even when you are going for all those overboard lecturers that like you to be detailed. You have to also be careful to know when to stop, when to start and when to stop. That's the key. So if you have listened to the points that I've made some points. I said first you must read. Then basically, just 2 points rather, you must read and you must know how to answer questions. Then to answer questions, I went into you understanding your lecturers. You have to understand your lecturers so that you know the way to answer their questions. Because you might be reading, I'm sure most of us are reading, you might be reading very hard, but the exams, the grades, they are not showing it. It's not because you are not reading, you are reading, but you are not giving the lecturer what he wants. You have to understand what the lecturer wants. If you don't understand what the lecturer wants, you are on your own, because at the end of the day, it's the lecturer that will mark it, it's the lecturer that will grade you, and what the lecturer grades, that's what the department will accept. What the department accepts, the department sends it to the senate, and what the senate ratifies, that's the end, that's what you graduate with. So at the end of the day, you might think that the lecturer is not that important. Trust me, it's very very important to what you graduate with. So you have to understand him, and I made mention that understand lecturer, there are different type of lecturers. There are some lecturers that want short and precise answers to questions. Other lecturers, they want to overboard. Some lecturers, the way they set their question, they set it the way it is written in their materials. Other lecturers, they try to trick you. So you have to understand, and I say the way to understand the lecturer is to go to his class. You have to go to his class. You don't have to say that I'm not going to class. What did they teach for class? They don't teach anything for class. I'm going to the library to read. Very good. If you spend all your time in the library reading without attending the lecturer's class, how do you know what the lecturer wants? How do you know what the lecturer will use to mark? How do you know how the lecturer thinks? Because in psychology, as the lecturer is studying you, you should be studying the lecturer also. It's a two-way thing. So you have to understand, once you do that, trust me, your grades will improve. Now you some of us will say yeah, I've done that and it's not working. No, you've not done it properly. All you have to do is do it properly. Once you do it properly, pay attention to the lecturers, read. I'm coming from the point of reading, because I know that the topic I'm speaking on is how to increase your GP. For you to want to increase your GP, it means you've been reading, but you are not seeing the effect of your reading. That's why I'm not going into all those other parts of be reading, be disciplined, sleep. I'm not talking about all those, because I'm sure you are doing that already. You are reading, but you are not seeing the effect. Because if you are not reading, you will not be interested in this web now in the very first place. You are reading, so you want to know what are you doing wrong. The thing you are doing wrong is that you don't understand the lecturer. Once you understand the lecturer, trust me, your grades will improve. It's what I did. It's not like I'm not here to bamboozle you or lie to you. It's what I did. It was my secret. Initially I don't go to class, but then I started going to class. I started paying attention to the lecturer. Most times I go to the class, lecturers maybe they are not teaching, they are just cracking jokes, telling you story. Some will tell you story of how they went to school, how they use when during their time they did not wear slippers, they did not do this, they did not do that. Yes, it might look boring to you. You are like, I'm wasting my time here. No, you are not wasting your time. You are understanding the lecturer, and trust me, you can decide to even ask the lecturer directly, sir, how do you like your questions to be answered in the exam? He will answer you. Even if he does not answer you, he might laugh and he will give you some pointers from the reply to the question. He will give you some pointers. So you have to go to his classes. You have to go. Don't deceive yourself and tell yourself that class is not important. Class is very important. Another little thing that I want you to know is that attendance and also your assignments and tests, all those things contribute. For instance, if you don't go to class, you will not take attendance. If you don't take attendance, there are some what's it called, I'm looking for the word now, but don't mind me, I'm looking for the word. I graduated like 2 years back, so the word is not it's continuous assessment. Thank you. Continuous assessment. There are some lecturers that uses attendance for continuous assessment. There's some lecturers that uses assignment for continuous assessment. Now if you're not in the class, you will not take attendance, your continuous assessment is at risk. And trust me, if your continuous assessment is at risk, what are you going to do in the exam? Do you want to get 70/70? Yes, it's possible. I mean, there was one time I got I think 50 something or 60 something over 70 in the exam. But it's possible. But if I had not done the course assessment, I would have not gotten an A. I would have gotten a B. So you have to take all those little things important. Go to class, understand the lecturer, do course assessment. All those little marks, they are what pushes you to A. That's what differentiates you from getting an A to you getting a B. It differentiates you from getting a B to you getting a C. It's those little things. Because what's the difference between an A and a B? If you get 68, a B is 68 and A is 70. Now if you take your course assessment seriously, trust me, you will get, maybe you get 5 from that course assessment, or 7 or 10. Once you add it to your 68, that's 70 something, that's an A. You see, these are the little tricks. So you have to go to class, pay attention to lecturers, take course assessment seriously. Those are the tricks, because I'm not going to bore you with read, be disciplined. I'm sure you are doing all those already, because if you are not doing that, you will not be in this. So you have to take that serious, and trust me, even if you cannot graduate with a first class because of your past GP, you will graduate with a very very high GP that you would not have graduated with if you did not pay attention to the little things I just said. You might think that it's little. It's not little. Permit me to call it little, because it's little because it took me pains. I discovered it in 400 level. In my 100 level, 200 level, 300 level, I was not on the first class. It was 400 level and 500 level that I got to first class. And I graduated with the first class. So that should tell you that it's something that I did. It's not like I'm not here to lie to you. I'm telling you, a blueprint that I followed, and I'm sure that if you follow this blueprint, it will work for you. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Shoot your questions. I will answer in the best possible way. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Jamie. So, guys, I hope you got the takeaways from his part of the webinar. Understand your lecturer. Honestly, I don't know how else to say it. Jimmy has said it all. He has said it all. Apart from the discipline, apart from what people will tell you, there's no way you can actually do really well if you're not putting in the effort you're supposed to put in. So you have to be really disciplined, guys. You have to understand your lecturer. You have to look at past questions. You have to know what works for you. I'll do a webinar on that. How to read as a student. It's very funny. It sounds like a funny topic, right? But honestly, some people do not know how to read. Like past questions, how to use your past questions before your examination, how to really quickly get the point of something, how to understand, how to even focus while you read. It's very important. Any time of day that works for you, if you're a night reader, if you're a day reader, these are things you really ought to know. So guys, thank you so much for staying through this session. Yeah, I said something about undergraduate scholarships, so I'll be providing you I wouldn't want to keep you here for too long, so I'll be providing you some really great resource, links to some to some programs where I spoke about undergraduate scholarships, the different type of ones that are available in Nigeria, and how to win undergraduate scholarships, and even how to read when you don't feel like reading. I'll be dropping all those kind of links in the description, so do well to look into the description so that you can actually see the link to that part of the session. So basically, undergraduate scholarships, you need to have a nice CGPA, not necessarily a first class, but you need to have a nice CGPA for people to want to invest their money in you, and you need to the different scholarships have their own criteria. Some will look at your voluntary activities, how involved you are in extracurriculum, how involved you are in giving back to the society. Some will look at your states that you're coming from. I mean, not that that's the only thing they'll look at, but that would be one of the criteria to apply. So some scholarships like Shell, SPDC, they know the particular area they target. Some allow everybody to apply to them, like MTN scholarship, you can apply, but you need to be at a particular level. I think it's 300 level. Yeah, you need to be in 300 level to actually apply from MTN. But CEPLAT accepts application from all levels. You can be in 500 level and get CEPLAT scholarship. So guys, I've already listed the list of scholarships in that video, so I won't want to do a repetition again. But men, thank you so much for staying with us. Like I said, just follow, like, share our page, and you'll be eligible to get the free resource for your CV and LinkedIn optimization. And like I said, if you invited at least 5 people to the webinar, then just hit me up for your LinkedIn and CV review. So that's it. Thanks so much for connecting again. Just stay tuned. We have a Telegram group for undergraduates. We'll be so happy if you can join the group. We're welcoming you. So apart from that, we also have a mentorship platform. So the mentorship actually happens on the group. So it's just be nice for you to just join the group. Then from there, I'll be able to communicate with you, and you might be able to speak to me one-on-one. We can work something out and participate in other webinars that will be coming up, because we're really looking into different areas, for undergraduates. Really, not just about scholarship. It's a process, and you have to enjoy the process. So we're looking at different things. I have a whole lot in stock for you. So thanks once again. I remain your host, SNEPCo signing, and like I said earlier, thanks so much to all our wonderful speakers. Jimmie, you're amazing. Frank, wow, I'm so excited. And Jaiyeola, Joseph. Yeah, let me not bite my tongue, please. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for giving us your time and being with us in this session. Stay blessed. Take care.